Yo!
What's up?
Save point. Don't hit from chapter starts.
Yeah. Oh, okay, so... last time.
On Ace Attorney.
Yeah. We presented the lost item report. Because Goodman lost his ID.
I lost a lot of health. I remember that.
Yes, but we'll get through this. And then I don't remember what was after that. There wasn't anything after that. We presented the ID report, and we were like, he lost his ID. And that was as far as that went, I think.
I have a trump card up my sleeve, so I best keep it. Before I use it, though, I better up the ante.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't lose it. I thought I only had 2 left.
You might have, and then it was stated, but it doesn't matter, because this was definitely what we were on.
Okay.
And we pressed over everything, and we...
Right.
Yes, he's claiming that he is supposed to make rounds in the evidence room. He's saying he was never there the whole time, which we know is bullshit.
Right.
Because of the bloody handprint.
Yes.
And then the only other thing that we kind of determined was that he doesn't know anything about the fingerprinted locks.
Right.
He doesn't know they exist, so... As far as he knows, it's just the security cameras and the card reader ID thingy.
Well, maybe on this statement, if I remember right, I was at the street side saloon at the time it went down. We presented this.
Maybe? Because I don't know what they
Found
want
a bloody
first.
handprint left in the evidence room. The print had been wiped.
We don't know when the handprint was left, but also that could be it. It could be anything. We know what we want to say. We want to be like, we know you were in there. Your fucking fingerprints are in here, you fucking prick. But like...
And
no.
also, you're the only person we haven't identified on the fucking list.
Well, I think we determined he has Bruce Goodman's card. Because his card was lost.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, he definitely has Bruce Goodman's card, but we still don't know who this 7777777 is.
Yeah, but that's not important yet. Is that McCree from Overwatch? It's high noon. What did you present? What did you
The
present?
handprint.
Oh shit.
Officer Marshall, doesn't it strike you as odd? That is, you being called in to testify like this.
Didn't he say for us to not come out guns blazing? And then we just can't... What the fuck, Phoenix?
After all, you weren't in the security room at the time of the crime. And yet you dragged me down here. Explain yourself, partner. It's quite simple. You left a very large trail behind at the scene. Or to be exact, a handprint. Wasn't real good, partner. Like I said, I'm the caretaker of that crypt. I pay my respects. That is, make my rounds. About once a month. It's only natural. My fingerprints would be in there.
So you say.
I only worship work, officer. But you see, your fingerprints were covered in blood.
Witness, what is the meaning of this? No blood-stained fingerprints were at the crime scene?
The blood was wiped away. However, a luminol test clearly revealed this. Well, Officer Marshall? Seems to me there ain't a person in this room with a head on his shoulders. Oh wait, no, you took a red roof, right?
Oh yeah. Do you saw mine too?
For right now, because I think I would be the majority.
That's
of
right,
the people.
Emma ran away from us.
Yeah.
Aww.
I would be like the entire courtroom
Oh
right
man.
now.
Except for the judge.
Except for the judge.
take it you have an explanation then, Officer Marshall, about the blood-stained fingerprints.
Very well. You may begin your testimony about your fingerprints found at the scene of the crime.
I already choose McCree.
Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in the evidence room. One of them just happened to be at the same place as the bloodstained handprint. The murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance.
What the fuck?
The bloodstain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. Or didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? See, I had nothing to do with it.
How do you know that?
How do you... That's what I was about to say.
What? I don't...
I mean, we're gonna press it, but that's really suspect to me.
Yeah, like, why do you even know that?
Yeah, why do you know that the...
You weren't there.
You weren't there?
There's room for doubt, I guess.
Life wouldn't be fun without any doubt, partner.
Mm-hmm.
The defense may now cross-examine the witness.
Hey, witness, why the fuck do you know that the murderer was wearing gloves?
Yeah, who the hell told you?
Who told you? This guy's hiding something. I can feel it.
I can feel it.
Now's my chance to prove it. Also, it wasn't the murderer that was wearing wearing gloves, because we assume right now that the murderer was Meekins.
Well, that's what they were saying, but I think I don't know about the rest of the court, but he's saying that, and we know that it's true because of the fingerprint that we found that we couldn't get a print from because it was flat because of gloves. So that's the whole, like, as far as the rest of the court knew, that it was Meekins, so, like...
Yeah.
Which we never thought to ask if Meekins
Which
was
we
wearing
have
gloves
video
or not.
evidence that Meekins wasn't wearing gloves.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So it's like, if Meekins is supposed to be the murderer...
Yeah, he seems to know a lot of shit that maybe he's not supposed to know.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Alright, I'm gonna press every statement just so I can know where Phoenix Wright wants me. Because, like, we figured this out, but Phoenix Wright definitely likes to be like, no, you have to do it in this order.
Yeah, on this statement, you know.
Yeah. So let's press everything. That's because you, how did you put it, pay your respects once a month? That's right. Now, and one more thing. That locker happens to be mine.
What? What do you mean?
I mean what I said. That's the locker I used when I was a detective. The locker I still use. All that's in there now, though, is a heap of broken dreams.
And a
I
cloth.
see. It'd be strange if my prints weren't all over that locker. Apparently his fingerprint data was never changed. He must have been using the fingerprint lock without even knowing it.
What an idiot.
So then, what about the bloody handprint? Wasn't mine, it's no mystery.
Please explain.
My locker is covered with my fingerprints. It just so happened.
I think that's what where we're gonna get him though. Is him
Yeah.
being like, "Don't you know they were wearing gloves?" And we'll be
Oh,
like, "No, we didn't know. Please tell us more."
The chances of that happening are 1,000,000 to 1. On the contrary, one could argue just the opposite. The chances of that not happening are 1,000,000 to 1.
No.
Get one thing straight, partner. You ain't gonna get no reward from me with a mere fingerprint. You wanna know why?
Do we even have on the videotape? Was the person in the coat wearing gloves too? I don't remember. There was a glove there.
There's a glove there at the scene.
Yes.
But I don't know if the
Maybe we'll have to look at the tape.
yeah. Unrelated. They're as different as night and day. Kinda like cereal and cereal. One's got to do with breakfast, while the other's a type of murderer. Or, you know, just a sequential event.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it doesn't necessarily pertain just to murder.
Serial just means that something happens in sequence.
Yeah.
But okay.
But okay.
Although seemingly alike, I guess they are totally different.
I don't see what homonyms have to do with this. Yeah, serial podcast, serial series.
Yeah. We got murder on the brain. Whatever.
How do you know that?
Yeah, seriously, how do you know that?
I may be a loner, but I still do my job. I keep up on the reports.
There was a blood stain at the scene, thought to be left by the murderer.
That's right. It was found on Detective Gumshoe's locker.
However, no fingerprints were detected on that handprint.
Yes, serial numbers. Thank you.
Yes, exactly.
Oh yeah, I think we tried that too.
So that would mean the murderer, wearing gloves, happened to place his hand on top of Officer Marshall's fingerprint.
That's not...
That's the only logical conclusion.
Is it though?
Are you starting to get a picture, partner? The picture? This seal of blood in the desert. It's just food for the buzzards. There's only one reality, and that's this. Alright, so we're gonna use this against you, fucker.
Yeah, we're gonna take a look at this fucking tape.
The security tape. So long as my trial isn't in there, you can't say otherwise.
This isn't getting us anywhere, Mr. Wright.
Let me clarify. I don't think that Marshall has anything to do with the murder that took place in the parking lot.
Right, right.
But I do think that he was trying to set up something.
Yeah, he was sneaking about.
He was sneaking about and trying to set up something or trying to get information.
It's likely...
In a sneaky way.
Well, yeah, because he wanted to get all that SL9 shit.
Yeah. So I think in that way he's being dishonest and sneaky, but I don't think he has anything to do with the murder in the parking lot. I don't know, I just felt like I needed to clarify that.
That you don't suspect him of Moira.
I don't suspect him of Moira, I just expect him of foul play.
Yeah, he's messing with shit because he can't let go.
Yeah.
It's clear that he's got a fucking, baggage that he's just not willing to part with.
Absolutely.
Please consider carefully where you're going with your cross-examination.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now then, continue your testimony, Officer Marshall.
Oh boy. That's a statement that's gonna get you in trouble, my dude.
What do you mean by that? You want to tie me to this crime, isn't that right, partner? If so, that video is the only direct evidence you have. But that video is next to useless. It's full of blind spots.
And we have other evidence.
Blind spots?
Places you can't see.
Oh yeah, hence the blind.
The camera's panning back and forth. The floor isn't shown. If someone was familiar with the camera's position, he could leave the room without being caught on tape.
You just have to crawl on the floor. We don't have time for your speculations, Mr. Wright.
It's not a speculation. Look at the fucking thing that was in his locker.
Well, that's the video we have, and you're just going to have to deal with it.
Well, Mr. Wright, can you show us evidence in this video that indicates Officer Marshall was present? You'd better do it now.
Oh, I got it. I got this. Easy peasy. Allow me to point out your mistake, Officer Marshall.
Tread carefully, Mr. Wright. Or you might wind up being the one making the mistake.
Nah, I got this shit.
Well, all right, if you say so. Here, let's look at the video. Roll the clip. Show us this incriminating evidence of the witness, Officer Jake Marshall.
I got you.
Are you tired of looking at this videotape yet?
Nope.
I was.
Wait, hold on. So.
Oh shit, Dean was you.
Oh, what
fuck,
shit?
Whoops.
No, not that. Fuck.
Look at this spot on this one fucking locker. How's that for
I
evidence?
was trying to fast forward.
Fuck that up.
I don't actually know what the controls are with the controller. If you want me to do it, I can.
Yeah,
Let's see that replay. Got him! Sorry.
Sorry. I was trying to fast forward and I hit the wrong button. The controller is confusing.
Yeah, we're playing this with an iBuffalo, so like sometimes when it comes to stuff like that, it's hard to tell. Like I'll use the mouse.
Okay. Alright, so we'll press this again.
Yeah. You tell him, Phoenix.
Go, Feeny!
Show evidence. I love my Buffalo. Shoutouts to Kyle, to Toucan Sham for basically getting us one.
What a babe.
I love Kyle.
Okay,
Right.
so fast forward,
To where? You tell me when to stop.
closer to the end.
Okay.
Okay, so stop.
Tell me when. I'll pause.
Pause. Yes. That.
Okay. Now present. Got him. We can play this on the DS too. Just can't stream it. My dude. I love you, Daniel.
Bringing our attention back to the security camera is a mistake I'm afraid you'll soon not forget, Officer Marshall. The days are short in Texas, and so are our tempers.
No, they're not.
Could you sum up what you have to say in 8 words or less? Very well. You can clearly be seen in this video.
Well, not directly, but
Exactly 8 words, not bad, partner. The key lies in a certain locker shown in the video.
yeah, Sid's on fire right now.
Oh, see that locker that has a white cloth sticking out? Well, I guess this is the witness's locker. I think Phoenix is supposed to be talking here, but whatever.
Now then, let's rewind the video a bit.
A little observant for the judge to be pointing out, I'm just saying.
I don't live in Texas, but I assume the days aren't all that.
Oh! There, the white cloth is gone! Where did it go? What's the meaning of this, Officer Marshall?
When the crime took place, the white cloth wasn't there. Then, it suddenly appeared. There's only one explanation. Officer Marshall, you were in the evidence room at the time of the crime. What's more, you opened your locker when the camera was turned away.
Which was, kind of impressive, really.
Order! Order! It would seem that's the only
Oh, Joe Horses, sorry, partner. But you got the wrong man.
What?
So what if my locker was open? That doesn't mean I'm the one who opened it. Yes, it does, bitch.
Oh. Honey.
The murderer needed to hide something, so he opened the locker and stuck it in. It's not my fault he happened to choose mine.
Literally everyone else in the courtroom is just like,
Why is everyone staring at me like I'm a wanted man? This guy isn't just playing dumb.
He is
He
dumb.
is dumb. I hate to rain on your parade, but you're the only person who can open that particular locker. Oh yeah, I call your bluff. You say I opened that locker, now prove it.
Well, hate to be the bearer of bad news, my dude. Oh, D-Rock, thanks for the host. How you doing? Haven't seen you in a while. How have you been?
A fingerprint sensor.
I mean, you didn't know?
We talked about this earlier today.
Were you paying attention?
The lockers can only be opened by the detectives they belong to. What kind of crazy talk is this? Well, Detective Gumshoe did mention something about this.
In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There's even some people in the force that don't even know about the fingerprint locks. And remember when I said that? That was good times.
So, Sheriff, what do you have to say in 8 words or less?
Oh shit, Phoenix. The sass.
What are you chewing on, dude?
Jerky. Looks like.
I only got one word for you, partner. No!
You shot me. Well, not really.
But
Order, order, order! Witness, explain yourself.
If this is a joke, it's the worst I've ever heard. I assure you this is no joke, Officer Marshall. Now then, please tell us what you were doing in the evidence room at the time of the crime.
Hooray! Why did I say that? Please answer the question.
What is he now, a bullfighter?
that's not how that works.
That's right. That's all right, Officer Marshall. I believe we can figure out the rest from here.
We can?
Have a look at these floor plans. There was no place for someone to hide in the evidence room. Yet Officer Meekins didn't see Officer Marshall.
If that's so, then where was the witness?
It seems Mr. Wright has an answer.
Yeah, the only possible conclusion. Yeah, dude. Duh.
Well then, let's hear it. Where was Officer Marshall at the time of the crime?
Let me show you. Wait. Hold on. V, right?
What?
Victim and killer, I guess is what they're doing?
Victim and killer, yes.
Okay, so killer would be Meekins. Right?
Yes.
Officer Marshall was standing right here.
There? But that's where the victim, Detective Goodman, was.
Ha! Correct, unless the man wasn't Detective Goodman. I believe the victim in the video is Officer Marshall. It was you, dressed up like Detective Goodman.
But that's preposterous! Officer Meekins witnessed the detective at the crime scene. Once he saw the man's face, he would know for sure.
We never saw the man's face. May I point out, though, that Officer Meekins did not know Detective Goodman. He also testified about the man's reaction when confronted.
When I entered the evidence room, I asked him to show his card, sir!
Yes, and how did Detective Goodman respond?
He suddenly pulled a knife on me!
Something about the officer's story puzzled me. If the man had his ID card, why didn't he just show it?
Yes. He would have needed it to enter the evidence room, so he must have been carrying it.
The answer is simple. He couldn't show it. As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture is on his ID card.
Oh, I get it.
If he showed that, his cover would have been blown. Officer Meekins would have realized the man wasn't Detective Goodman. Do you have anything to say to this, Officer Marshall?
Come on!
You got quite an imagination, partner.
Thanks.
You got a term for that. It's called circumstantial evidence. Circumstantial evidence? He's still denying it.
What the fuck?
You're gonna have to do better than that to break the detective. Unless you have hard evidence proving I dressed up as the victim. The fucking cloth!
I mean, I can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition.
I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining.
Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any evidence? Any evidence proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that Officer Marshall dressed up as the victim?
Well, who am I kidding? I don't have anything like that. I can see the fear in your eyes, partner. Seems you're the one who couldn't take the desert heat, not dessert heat.
That would be most delicious.
Ugh, this can't be happening. It's so obvious he's the one. What can I do? Are you gonna help us out, Edgy?
It looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed. I'll pass on to you what someone told me when I was just starting out. When you run into a wall with no place to go, return to the basics.
The basics.
You know, like how your mentor was always telling you.
For me, that would be what Mia used to tell me.
Nick, try thinking outside the box.
God, I love you. Marry me.
Okay.
I shouldn't look for proof that Officer Marshall was in disguise. But rather, I should look for evidence that came about because he was in disguise.
Why do you think this locker was opened in the first place?
What do you mean?
There's no reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the time of the crime. Yet he did, despite the chance it might be discovered later, as it has been.
Which means he didn't originally plan to open his locker.
According to the defense's argument, Officer Jake Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime. And then, after the crime was committed, heavy quotation marks, he opened his own locker for some unknown reason.
The fact that a white cloth is sticking out of the locker seems to indicate that he opened it in order to put the cloth inside.
So, what exactly is this piece of cloth? You're going to have to spell it out for me. I'm very old.
Perhaps the video is the key to all our unanswered questions. I don't have any evidence, so this video is my only shot.
Very well. Well, let's take yet another look at the security tape.
Fuck me sideways.
After committing the crime, the witness opened the locker to put away the white cloth. Please show us why the witness had to open his locker.
Why?
You know what?
Oh, the blood stain
Oh.
on his shoulder.
Is that in the video? I didn't
That
even
is on
pay
the video.
attention. Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the video.
90% of Phoenix's evidence is him coming in with last minute connections and bullshitting. Yeah, definitely.
I'm gonna need your help here in a second to pause it for me.
I do it. Get him, Meekins.
Should be about right.
Wait.
No, not there.
There. Damn, I didn't even notice it. I forgot all about it.
For some reason, you disguised yourself as Detective Goodman and entered the evidence room. I don't know what that reason was. Yet.
You heard me.
However, something unexpected happened. Officer Meekins barged in on you. When asked to show your ID card, you pulled a knife on him. However, Officer Meekins panicked, and the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood.
A bloody white coat.
You couldn't just walk out like that, so you hid the coat in your locker. Not bad, huh, partner?
I got it in quotation marks this time. Not really my friend. I like you.
Yeah.
Now then, Officer Marshall, are you ready to tell us the truth?
Looks like I underestimated y'all. I hope you're happy now, Mr. Edgeworth.
As it turns out, I am, thanks.
2 years ago, if you were only half as persistent then as you are today, we all wouldn't have to be here, now would we?
Wow, okay.
Officer Marshall, tell the court what you did. All of it.
Hi, Cynthia, and thanks for the host, Jack.
All right. Seems the time has come. I had to do it that day. Couldn't just stand by and let it die.
That's
I
right.
stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins and knocked him out. I managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on camera. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15.
There's a lot of blood in there, though.
So, the supposed victim was really you?
But there's one thing I still don't understand. Large quantities of blood traces were found on the floor of the evidence room. If no one was murdered, then how could that be?
Officer Meekins managed to cut his own hand. My guess is that he's the donor.
But still,
Looks like too much blood for that.
there's a lot of blood. good. I'm glad you're doing well.
When you say it, you mean... Do you even have to ask, partner?
Yup.
The SL9 incident.
2 years have passed since that case was closed. It was going to completely end with the transferal that day.
Not if I have anything to do with it. That incident's not over.
But that's illegal.
But what did you hope to accomplish by sneaking into the evidence room? When a case is closed, only a detective who was in charge of that can look through the evidence. I wanted to have a look at it myself one more time. No matter what the cost. I don't care what anyone says, partner. This case is mine. But Officer Marshall wasn't in charge of that investigation. Why does he care so much about it? That day was my last chance. That's why Why did you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman? If I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transfer, I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me anywhere.
So you did it to fool the security camera. Couldn't you just erase the tapes? You're the security guy.
He can't do that. He's not. I hate to say he's not smart. He's not technologically smart.
But he does it every day. Every 6 hours he has to erase the tapes. Couldn't he just not report it and what the fuck, Marshall?
And then detective's ID card?
I stole that morning of the incident. So that really was why Goodman started filling out that last item report. That lost item report.
It was his last item, though, to be fair. I mean...
I returned his ID card. I left it on the floor in the prosecution's office parking lot.
Oh, you're the one who put that there.
The ID card I found was left there by Officer Marshall.
Isn't that also planting evidence? So essentially, you managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight.
What do you mean, partner?
I mean the fingerprint activated lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. Normally, that locker should not have opened.
So it was open because a rubber glove was stuck in the door by chance. Then Detective Goodman must have opened the locker before Officer Marshall.
Yeah, that's a good wisdom. Yeah, he would have been totally screwed if it wasn't.
You pulled a knife on Officer Meekins and tried to drive him off. Let's just say I was a little surprised. Only planned on being in the evidence room for no more than 5 minutes. I didn't think anyone would actually come in during that short time.
Officer Meekins certainly is a one-in-a-million type of person.
He's a being. I hope that's what you mean, Judge.
Yeah, sure. Mistaking a detective for an intruder and demanding to be shown his ID.
I'll have to think a little bit more about his raise this year.
When did Edgeworth get so much influence? Anyway, he threw himself at me, so I ended up cutting him slightly. I'm sorry it had turned out that way, with me knocking him out and everything.
It's fine.
By the way, what happened to your knife? Oh, you mean this one? I don't know what to say.
So, what happened next?
So you did your research beforehand. Those who get into the desert unprepared don't live long, partner. I didn't think it would make a difference, though. The security tape was erased every 6 hours. If all had gone as planned, no footage would have been left.
Maybe it's automatic, so he can't control when it's... So he would have been like freaking out if 6 hours if someone else could review the tape or something. I don't know. However, you bloodied your coat in your struggle with Officer Meekins.
If someone was in the security room When I came out, the jig would have been up. I opened my locker and stashed it in there. What was Officer Meekins doing during that time?
Not much.
What else? He was sleeping like a baby.
So what you're saying is, on that day,
The blood.
though.
But the blood found at the scene certainly indicates a crime took place. What are you, blind? The victim shown on that tape is me, and I'm not dead yet, partner.
So you stole the evidence from the locker,
Actually, no, I didn't.
huh? Why not?
When I opened the locker, the evidence was already gone.
what? Mr. Edgeworth, where is that evidence?
It's still missing, Your Honor.
Detective Goodman's locker was already empty, so someone stole the evidence. Officer Marshall, may I ask you one thing? Fire away, partner. It's a free country.
Kinda.
Just remember, I'm also free to decide whether or not I answer.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you do this? Stealing a detective's ID, injuring a police officer. This is no small offense.
You broke like 1,000,000 laws. Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This will have serious consequences. It can't just be forgiving the simple cut in salary. Oh, what's up, Smash?
Not that salary cuts are ever a valid solution.
Please leave Gumshoe alone.
Like I said, this isn't your case. This one is mine. And I'll do anything it takes to get an answer I'm satisfied with.
The witness has an unusual amount of zeal. Let's hear more.
I can't just forget the SL9 incident, you know why.
No, why? Oh, fuck.
I have a feeling we're not here to simulate where everyone involved here is related in some way to that case. I better take another look at the files!
Oh shit, you know, we never did look at those. Lana gave them to us and we never even looked at them.
I had to do it that day. I couldn't just stand by and let it die. I stole the detective's ID and pressed
Angel, hello! Yeah, let's fucking look at it. We've never even looked at it.
Do you want to look at it first or press first?
Press, I guess? Didn't we already press it or no?
Not this statement.
Oh, okay.
But that case was solved 2 years ago, wasn't it?
That's the reason the evidence was stored in the evidence room.
Joe Dark was convicted for those crimes. One thing I can say for sure, he deserved his sentence.
I remember the Joe Dark case. It involved serial murders, didn't it?
I don't intend to complain on how it turned out. But there's something that still bothers me. Something went down in that trial. Something no one will talk about.
Whoa, what happened?
I don't know. That's why I'm trying to find out. Why is he so concerned with that incident? Maybe I should present him with what I think is what the real reason is. I had a feeling we'd wind up here sooner or later.
Oh, yeah.
Error 1 volume.
It involved cranberries.
So, yeah.
Wait.
Can we read it?
Goodman's autopsy report. Wait, what did you say we have?
She gave us a bunch of files. It was like the last thing we got.
Ah!
But we haven't even opened it or looked at it yet. For the
Files
Joe
from
Dark killing.
Dark killing, solved 2 years ago.
SL9, criminal Joe Dark. Serial murder, sentence, death! Victims. Edward Jones. I wonder if these are devs. Edward Jones, Jason Knight. I know someone named Jason Knight. Rachel Moss, Edith Kirby, Jeb Bates, Neil Marshall. There's Edgeworth. Witnesses Lana Sky and Emma Sky. Dame Gaunt, Lana Sky. Investigator Jake Marshall, Angel Starr, Bruce Goodman. Yeah, so it really is every party's all here.
Yeah, so it's the Neil Marshall.
Yeah.
Oh wait, shit, that was
Shit,
the
wrong
save.
one.
Damn it. God damn it.
My bad.
Sorry.
How do you burn off all of your body hair? Yeah, don't use Nair.
Huh? I use Nair.
I mean, I've used it before and it's okay, but I just can't stand the smell of it.
Oh yeah, no, it smells awful.
Mostly. I don't know. It's been...
I've used Nair for years. Like,
Well,
I
I'll
used it on my
say
bikini area.
It's been like 10 years since I've even touched this stuff, and it didn't work all that well.
I still use it to this day.
Oh, okay. Well then, I don't know. Try it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Just follow the instructions.
It's gonna be a lot of work. Removing body hair is always a lot of work.
Yeah, that's... Why do you think we complain about it all the time? It's a lot of work.
Shaving is what's going to be best for your skin. Probably. Shaving is what's going to be the gentlest on your skin.
Yep.
As long as you use a shaving cream. Don't just do it with, like, soap or some bullshit.
Yeah. Ugh. Yeah.
Like, you'll need a shaving cream or at the very least conditioner.
Yeah, conditioner is a good wisdom.
Otherwise, you're gonna get those razor bumpies.
Yeah, those are the worst. You don't want those.
But yeah, no, I use, have thick hair and left too much Nair on for too long and I started bleeding. Well, yeah, no, you're not supposed to leave it on for more than 10 minutes.
But yeah, if you get bumps from shaving, you need to use something to condition your skin first or
Yeah.
whatever. Shaving cream, conditioner. I use conditioner.
Yeah.
I don't got no fucking time to buy shaving cream.
Because I also have very thick hair. I have very thick hair. I'm Native American. And you don't leave Nair on for more than 10 minutes.
Yeah, I don't.
It wasn't on for nearly 10 minutes, more like 2 or 3. Then I don't know
That's
what happened.
concerning.
Yeah, that's concerning. Maybe it was expired then.
Or you've got some kind of a reaction to it.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Because I use Nair literally all the time for my bikini area. And I leave it on for 10 minutes every time. Because my hair's so thick, it's the only way to get Nair to kill it out. Because if you have, the lighter your hair is, the easier it's going to be for Nair to lift it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the same way with like laser hair removal too. The lighter your hair is, it's easier to permanently remove that hair.
Mm.
The darker your hair is, the harder it is to, the darker and thicker your hair is, the harder it is to remove it.
Anyways, try conditioner, Cynthia. See if that helps you a little.
Also, maybe you're pressing too hard with your razor.
Yeah, that could be it too.
I had an issue with that when I was younger. I would press way too hard.
I did that too.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, we do know why.
We do know, right?
Present.
There we go. I have to go to bed soon, but
I feel like we're at the end of this.
yeah, we can do this. Officer Marshall, I think I understand. I think I know why you care so much about the SL9 incident. Sounds like you've been sipping too much cactus juice, partner.
Well, it's delicious.
I have the SL9 incident files here. The name Marshall is mentioned in here. Several times. Your name and another Marshall.
Yeah, we don't know who he is, but he certainly is a marshal.
And a list of murder victims. Neil Marshall. Are you related to this man? Or woman? Or person?
Well, it's probably Neil Marshall.
Yeah, I'm sure you've heard the name. 2 years ago. He received the same lousy prosecutor award you got.
Excuse me?
What? A prosecutor?
You must be talking about the King of Prosecutors Award.
Now I remember. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He handled the SL9 case before I did.
That's right, he was killed. And the case fell into your hands.
But what's his relation to you?
He's my brother!
Yeah. Aww.
Called that shit. He was investigating the murders with Damon Gaunt, chief detective at the time.
I love his animation with his hand over his chest.
That's really sweet. The group of detectives I was a part of worked under them. We were desperate to prosecute the killer. Joe Dark. My brother fought Dark and was killed. That was the first time Dark left behind any evidence. That was all we needed.
Yeah, he looks like an asshole.
He was arraigned and incarcerated. The case was finally closed, at least according to public records.
What do you mean?
My brother couldn't have been killed by Joe Dark. I knew my brother better than anyone. No one could have beaten him in a fight.
And that's it. That's your reason for your insane actions.
There's more to my brother's death than what the records say. No matter how much you try to hide it, you can't fool me. Oh, so you think Edward was involved with his death?
Well, at least one thing's for certain. Now we know what happened at the police department on the day of the crime.
That was the last day the SL9 case could have been reopened. Not satisfied with its resolution, Officer Marshall planned to steal the evidence.
Disguising himself as Detective Goodman, he entered the evidence room. Officer Meekins confronted him, so he rendered him unconscious and fled.
Yes, this mystery has finally been cleared up. No murder took place at the police department that day.
Bullshit, something happened.
Yeah, I don't know about that. The things that happen by chance never cease to amaze. At exactly the same time as the murder at the prosecutor's office, this fake murder was going on at the police department. Isn't that hilarious?
Chance? It's gotta be more than just that.
So if no one was murdered at the police department on the day of the crime, that means the murder in the prosecutor's office's parking lot was the real one.
Which, in turn, means only one person could have committed the crime. Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye.
But wait, a verdict wasn't reached in yesterday's trial.
Which is why we examined the incident at the police department today.
But
There's only one reason the defendant was not convicted yesterday. There yet remain the mystery of the simultaneous murder at the police department.
seems to me this boy's got the draw on you, partner.
All the mysteries at the police department have been uncovered. No contradictions remain. The murder took place at the prosecutor's office. The only suspect is Lana Skye. There were no errors in testimony of the witness Angel Starr. If you have a response, make it in one word or less. Objection.
Objection, you bitch. Ah!
That's a word, I guess. I rest my case.
Nah.
No.
It seems this trial has reached its conclusion. There's no room for doubt.
Well done, Mr. Wright. Thanks to you, didn't need to waste my time disproving the alleged murder at the police department.
There's no doubt what I proved today is true. The apparent murder on the security camera tape really was fake. But I didn't realize that would end up proving Lana's guilt.
Now then, the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant.
Emma?
Who is it this time?
Yeah!
Your Honor, wait!
Emma.
The defense has an objection. A scientific objection. Right?
What do you mean, right? Like me, right? Or right, or...
Yes!
Mr. Wright, are you this girl's guardian?
Your Honor, in a sense...
Please, Your Honor, all I'm asking is for a minute of your time. Please hear me out. Mr. Edgeworth, please. I don't want to leave any loose ends.
Oh, Edgeworth, you're such a softie.
You want a minute? I'll give you 3.
Oh,
That was nice.
He's such a softie.
That's very nice of him. I was kind of in shock. I mean, finding out the SL9 incident referred to the Joe Dark killings.
Now that she mentions it, the names of both the Sky Sisters were in the file.
But that's when I figured it out. I mean, what Officer Marshall was trying to do that day. So, I knew his fingerprint had nothing to do with the crime. That left only one thing. The other handprint. You mean the traces of blood found on Detective Gumshoe's locker?
But no fingerprints were found on it, right? So it's not important.
No, but I figured if I examined it scientifically, I would be sure to find a clue. So, I ran over there and looked at it again.
You're amazing.
That's all. I wasn't running away from you to brood. I was actually just doing science.
So did you find something?
No! Sorry. I guess I'm not that much of a scientific investigator after all.
Is that all?
Please don't be mad. I'm just a high school student.
And I'm just an attorney.
But Mr. Wright, those traces of blood are the only clue we have. If we can't find something wrong with them... Please, Mr. Wright, you're a professional. If anyone can save Lana, it's you.
Me? Oh boy.
Well, time's up. Now then, Mr. Wright, with regard to the incident at the police department, does any reasonable doubt remain?
Yeah, plenty.
Yeah.
It appears the defense is troubled by the other blood mark.
Yeah, that.
Looking at the floor plans, a handprint was discovered around here.
Also the massive amounts of blood.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Eventually, maybe. I don't know. Is there a problem with this? Mr. Wright, I'm sorry that I can't be of more use. But still, if you can't find anything wrong with that blood mark, then Lana will be...
Please answer my question, Mr. Wright. We don't have all day.
Yes, Your Honor. If ever I needed to concentrate, it's now. What could be wrong with that handprint on Gumshoe's locker? There'd be something I'm missing. Well, see, that's the problem, is that I don't know if it has exactly to do with the handprint, but definitely with the massive amounts of blood. Can I still look at the court?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. 'Cause look at this.
I got a feeling Marshall might not have been wearing gloves. So, like, maybe that's why.
Let's take a quick look at this. Doesn't look like he is
We'll have to see.
when he opens the door.
It's impossible to tell.
I don't think so, though. They usually make it quite obvious when someone's wearing gloves. And that looks mostly like a normal hand to me. Plus, the evidence was already gone, so he wouldn't have had the glove that we thought he had.
Also, I don't know if it's just because of the blue badge or... Well, no. I don't know.
Well, like, we were assuming that the glove that... Or at least I was in my head, assuming that the glove that Marshall would have used was the glove in the evidence locker for the SL9 incident.
Mm-hmm.
But if the evidence was already cleared out by the time
Yeah, I'm assuming he didn't even notice that the glove was
it's
there.
gone, yeah.
Because it was just jammed in the door and he didn't know about the fingerprint lock, so it probably fell out and he didn't even notice it.
Yeah, and where's the other glove?
Right. Wait, look at the floor plans.
Okay.
That you have in your... Probably, yeah, like later.
The parking lot, and then evidence room. There we go. So yeah, big amount of blood in front of Goodman's locker, and then a blood print on Gumshoe's and blood on Marshall's. So he could be right. He could be like.
But I mean, like, Marshall's, we determined that it was him that left that handprint there anyway, and it's like, he wasn't wearing gloves because he left a fingerprint. We can go ahead with that argument. That one had no fingerprints because they were wearing gloves, but Marshall's fingerprint was on that locker. So, like, we can use the logic to be like, what were you wearing a glove on one hand and not the other? Like, why would you leave prints on one locker and not prints on the other locker? So whose bloody handprint is this?
Okay.
At least that's what I think, but I don't know
That
what
makes
they
sense.
want.
This handprint left at the crime scene clearly shows a contradiction.
Probably. The only thing that seems clear is your grasping, Mr. Wright. You don't know that.
You've been staring pretty intently at those floor plans. Tell me, is there a problem with them?
Yes, this is strange. Take a good look at these floor plans. Something is missing.
Missing? I mean, something that hasn't been drawn on there.
Blue Badger? Something that, when drawn, will completely change the meaning of the blood mark.
Let's just roll with it.
Let's play the defense isn't simply trying to buy time. Shit. Very well, Mr. Wright.
All this evidence here, there's gotta be something I can use.
The question is, which item can prove something is missing in the floor plans?
Well, the Blue Badger, right?
I think so. Let's look at everything else, but I think that's a good guess.
That's the only thing I can see that's missing in the floor plans, unless they're talking about the blood that's on this one. Oh, whoops.
That one, I think. Yeah. Unless we're talking about that.
Unless they're talking.
Oh, shit! Whoops! No. That's not what we meant to do. Okay, they didn't actually penalize you.
Oh, because the Blue Badger was directly in front of Gumshoe's locker.
Right. That's right. Okay. Yeah, you know what? That's a good wisdom.
Yeah. It was like right in front of
Then,
Gumshoe's
I mean,
locker.
like, because we know we won't be penalized, it's worth trying anyway. Hi, Grego. Hell yeah.
What about that piece of plywood? The Blue Badger, mascot of the police force. Defender of truth, guardian of proof.
He's the best. Explain yourself, Mr. Wright.
Please, look at the floor plans of the crime scene. The Blue Badger is not here. So what happens when we put him in? This is where he was dancing at the time of the crime.
Sure enough is.
Well,
Well, what?
that's right. So long as the Blue Badger is dancing here, it would be impossible to place a handprint at this spot on the locker.
Well, not impossible, but you would have to go out of your way to do it. You'd have
Yeah.
to be like, I'm gonna stick my hand right here.
So that means... just what exactly does that mean?
It means it can't be done.
What are you saying? Blood traces were undeniably found on that locker.
Don't look at me. I didn't put it there.
Mr. Wright, think it through scientifically.
Emma,
On that afternoon, Officer Meekins was the one who brought the Blue Badger to the evidence room, right?
Yeah.
After he put it down, it would be impossible to leave a handprint on that locker.
so that must mean this blood mark was left there before the Blue Badger was brought in.
Just one moment. I will not allow such far-fetched balderdash in my courtroom.
It may sound far-fetched, Your Honor, but it's the only possible explanation. On February 21st, in the police department's evidence room, blood was spilled not once, but twice.
What?
But how?
One time was captured on this tape taken by the security camera. Officer Meekins cut his hand, from which a trivial amount of blood fell. The problem is, the other time, someone bled prior to the struggle shown on this tape. It had to have been Detective Goodman when he was really murdered.
Can't we analyze that blood and find out who it belonged to? That's ridiculous. I refute you.
The murder portrayed in the security tape has been proven to be fake. However, that does not explain the blood mark found on the locker.
So then, assuming this murder you purport really happened, when did it take place? I demand you show evidence that proves it occurred.
77777. When did the first incident occur?
To surmise, the defense claims that prior to Officer Meekins being cut by Jake Marshall, who was disguised as Detective Goodman, another incident took place in the evidence room.
The blood mark on the locker proves this.
Very well. Well, then tell us. When did this first incident occur? Proof must be presented.
Proof that shows when the murder took place. There's only one piece of evidence that can show that.
Now then, will the defense please present the evidence what shows when the first crime took place?
I mean, maybe
been-
I'm jumping to conclusions, but
It's the only other number.
only on the number, and we haven't identified who it belongs to.
It's the weed number.
If the crime took place inside the evidence room, then the perpetrator would have had to enter the room. In order to do so, an ID card is required.
An ID card? Oh, the ID card record. That's right, I remember.
Officer Meekins brought the Blue Badger panel into the evidence room at
Let's see. 4:50 p.m. If the crime took place before that time, then it would be 4:40 p.m. Ah! Mr. Edgeworth! Mercy, what have you done?
I never figured you'd have the nerve, boy.
Put off the act, witness. It doesn't take a lot of thought to figure out it couldn't have been me.
Nope, I ain't getting it.
I'm afraid I don't understand either.
It's clear from the luminol tests that blood was there. However, when the second crime took place, both Officer Meekins and Officer Marshall failed to notice the blood.
That means the blood from the first crime was wiped away by the real murderer.
I would have had just 10 minutes to murder the victim, carry his body away, and clean up the blood. Unfortunately, that's physically impossible. Or at least highly improbable.
Yeah.
That would mean the crime must have taken place before Mr. Edgeworth entered the evidence room.
Yes. Let's look at the chart again. There's only one other card remaining. 77777777. Talk about a lucky number.
But wait, well, that doesn't make sense. How could Officer Goodman have entered the evidence room?
Since there is no record of his card being used beforehand, he must have entered along with the real murderer. That's the only plausible explanation. He went in with 77777777.
Mr. Edgeworth, please look into this ASAP. Find out whose ID number is 77777777.
That's 17 too many, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I'm unable to look up the owner of that ID card, at least at present.
What? Explain yourself, son.
The ID number 7777777 belongs to someone with a rank of captain or higher. Someone who is a so-called executive officer. We don't have the authority to inquire to such a person's identity.
That's ridiculous. Just how...
I'm not finished talking, Mr. Wright. This is one situation in which we can be granted such authority.
If an official charge filed against an executive is accepted.
An official charge? You're all alike, aren't you? With your cover-ups and your forgeries. It's just how prosecutors' office operates.
Where's the lie? I take pride in my work, Officer Marshall. I would appreciate it if you would keep your slander to yourself.
Ain't slander if it's the truth.
I mean...
Let me ask you a question.
Yes?
No, not you. To her, the defendant standing over there. Your own little executive. Wanna?
Don't be stupid. She's been charged with murder. Of course we've looked up her ID number. And it's not 7777777.
Don't play me for a fool, partner. That's not what I want to ask. All I want to know is one thing about that incident.
The SL9 incident?
Answer me this, Chief Prosecutor. In that trial 2 years ago, did you really only use legitimate evidence?
That's a lot to ask. Suddenly. Do you need the witness to repeat his question, Chief Prosecutor?
Alright, we're gonna have to call it here.
Are you really sure?
Fuck. Sorry. It's almost 12:30. It's way past my bedtime.
Alright. I know we're at the end of this fucking case. Or not the case, but the end of this trial day.
Right. We're just gonna have to leave it till next time. That seemed like a good pausing point.
Okay.
Cliffhanger.
We should make an objection command.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm finding a host, and thank you for hanging out with us.